Hey guys, this is going to be part of a video on a bandsaw and resawing a bunch of lumber that I did for siding. And I wanted to kind of come here and show you, there's an old piece of footage that I will clip into this where I actually saw a 16-foot 2x8 in half, the long ways, for siding that I was making that needed to be kind of rough cut, but not too rough cut. And it needed to have the straight saw blades in it as versus a circular mill or anything else. So I had to be done with the bandsaw. Anyway, but most bandsaws that were probably capable of doing that were well out of my budget. So I found an old used bandsaw that I picked up and had a 1 horsepower motor on it, but I knew the 1 horsepower motor wouldn't be enough for doing what I needed to do and get through it quickly. So I'm gonna kind of take you around this bandsaw with me, kind of show you what I did to be able to try to cut these 2x8s into siding as efficiently as possible. It worked out really good, and once I got rolling, I was able to cut a lot of board footage pretty quickly for just a manual operation. So anyway guys, so thanks for being back here, and I'm going to take you over kind of what I did to this bandsaw, and brought a light with me this time. I know I did it in the other clip, you'll probably see that, but I'm trying to get a little more refined here. This still isn't scripted yet, but hopefully I'm getting better. Let me know. And again, I think I need to reiterate on all of these. I might gloss over things that probably people would want to know more information about. And if you do, please contact me through the comments or anything else, and I will work as best as possible to try to put more definition into what I have glossed over, or try to explain better what I have done and why I did it. So anyway guys, so thanks for being with me, and here's this bandsaw. As you can see, it's pretty good size. You're standing up there quite a while, so I put the camera up here on top of the bandsaw, but I'm gonna come around here. And as you can see, this is a bandsaw here, and it comes down. It's got pretty big table on it, but one of the things that I did to it, and it's used as a storage shelf now, but you can see I put quite a long table on the front of it and the back of it, so it could carry the 16-foot 2x4 and never be off center, so to speak, while it was in the blade. It's a little over about 9.5 feet from one table end to the other table end, or from the center line of the blade, it's 9.5 feet to one end, and then 9.5 feet to the other end, which would be a total around 19 feet of table. It did come with a big cast iron table. Of course, I took that off because it was hard to make up this jig situation that I have here, to push that 2x8 through and keep it in line. And like I say, it's become quite the storage table now. I'm sorry for that, but I'm gonna see if I can't put you up here, and I'm gonna walk around this table and get with you and show you a little more on what I did here. One of the things is I had to change some of the guiding around some. So here, I don't know. So this is where see if you can see. So this is where the saw blade comes, and if you can see here, these are the guides. So I looked for guides around for the saw, and it is a old J-line broadhead Garrett company that was made in Cleveland, Ohio. I couldn't really find any, and what it had on it before were steel guides, and I didn't really like that. You know, I just don't like steel on steel unless it's a train. So I had to make these guides. I went and just got some extruded aluminum and cut them and drilled them and just replaced those as guides in the top and bottom, which worked out pretty good for what I was doing. As you can see, everything's a little older. I think you have to pretty much make parts for this again, but of course I knew I needed something to start out with to do what I wanted to do, knowing that a bandsaw that I could do what I wanted to do with it was way out of my budget. So I built my own, basically. Or highly modified this one, but you can see I put a little bit of a dust collection system on it. It didn't really work that well. But I'm gonna bring you back around here, and we can kind of look at this. And like I said, this is, but I put this back together, but it was 120 volt 1 horsepower motor that did it, but this was the original, so it had all 120 volt coils in it, which I said, well, maybe I'll put up with a 240 volt charge. It did not. The coils didn't like it, so I had to go with a direct plug-in process. So this thing, once she's rolling, she's rolling. Unless something else goes wrong. I'm gonna open the door to it. You can kind of see this bandsaw wheel here. See, it's been sitting for a while, so, but I got a powerful motor on it. But you can see that I had to keep the blade pretty tensed up. And one of the things I had to do too was replace the tires on these. And I don't know, you can come in and kind of see the orange color. And I bought, so they were silicone tires I bought off of Amazon, and they're just kind of stretch fit on there. Well, when you're running this much power and this much blade, a stretch fit tire doesn't like to stay in place. So what I ended up putting some exterior two-sided tape on it. It's kind of that black color looking dum-dum stuff that Scotch makes, and it's got the red plastic cover on it. It's kind of a pain in the ass tape, but it is what it is. But anyway, so I ended up taking that, putting around that. After I tried a couple glues, as you can kind of see that I try to put some weather strip adhesive or anything else. And of course, as everybody knows, nothing really likes to stick to silicone. So I did put the two-sided tape on it, and it has worked beautifully. These are the same tires that I put on it. I cut thousands of linear feet with this. So it worked out really well for me. And as you can see, with this, you can see the old bearing and all that, and some of the guides, and you can kind of see the fence system that I built here. Down here, again, used as a table. I'm kind of in a mess right now. You come here and you can see this tire, and that's that tire was new too. When I first put that one on, I said, oh, stretch fit didn't work. It came right on off. So then I did with the weather, with the adhesives, that didn't work good. And then I finally went with the tape, and that has worked extremely well. I put a tape all the way around it, and sorry, I don't have footage of that. One of the things that happened too, once I got the whole tire thing straightened out, is this is a shaft that's carried by a couple pillow blocks back into there. And you can see this bolt right here that retains the wheel onto that shaft that those pillow blocks hold up. It came completely out, so I had gotten the tire situation straightened out on this, and pushing the lumber through and get to my second piece. I was like, oh man, this is working out beautifully. And when I start pushing that second piece through, that whole bolt backed out, and this whole wheel came off. So I had blade and wheel and everything else kind of going around quite a bit, but I calculate my risk well generally. Not all the time, but most of the time I try to calculate it as best as I can. So we're going to come back around here, and like I say, this is got some lumber here sitting up on sawhorses, just waiting to finish up another project. So I come back around here, and I brought my light this time because I want to explain to you a little bit more, because you couldn't really see it in the other clip when I've sampled it. So hopefully you'll be able to see this a little bit better. But you can see, so this pulley right here, I replaced it because the motor I got from Harbor Freight, so this was basically, I think it was a 1,725 RPM motor that came on it, and it was only 1 horsepower, so it definitely wasn't enough juice to make this thing work. So I went up and I got a 5 horsepower compressor motor at Harbor Freight. It's a 240 volts. So like I say, you kind of had to rewire it, and the switch didn't like it because there's 120 volt coils in there. So this one, the bad thing with this is it spins at 3,600 RPM. So I had to change the pulley ratios down quite a bit. So I don't know, I will show you here. So here you can see it's about that is a 2-inch pulley. And then it comes up here to, I think this was a 14.5-inch pulley, 16-inch pulley. So, but it gave me, the blade feet per minute was around, I think 900, which was kind of in the target window I wanted to get to for resawing 2x8s. So anyway, it's worked out good. You can see this is the tensioning clip here. I had to kind of move some stuff around in here to get the motor to work and get all this to work. And so, but it's nice. I got that pulley from McMaster car, which is always nice because if you need something, you usually can get it the next day. And then the 2-inch pulley, I think I got off of Amazon to get on that. That's pretty common. This one it's not, because it's a wedge fit pulley. So anyway, that's that. You can kind of, and I'll try to show you, but you can see that shaft that comes through from the wheel that came off and through tires and everything else for a while before I got it all straightened out. You can kind of see that shaft and those pillow blocks that it sits on. And then this is right down here, this is a central shaft that basically this motor mount pivots on, and then a piece of rod with some, I don't want to say all thread just to keep from explaining too much, to put tension on the motor. So you keep your belts going. So anyway, that's that. And of course I told you about the switch. So basically what I had to do is I just took a regular plug and I just ran it around. I just wired it straight. So when you got to plug this in, she's running whether you like it or not. You got to get ready. So anyway, so that's it, guys. I think that's a little better explanation of it than what I had. And of course, always, thanks for watching. I'm going to try to get all these clips kind of spliced in together, and this will be my first clip that I will have to. No, I don't think. No, I'm not going to have to do footage from my phone and also the GoPro. I think this is all GoPro footage. So I kind of got that figured out. I'm still bumbling through it, but hopefully y'all will enjoy the finished product. I know I just did one too on the whole fermentation process and the ethanol. That is going to have some phone footage in it and some GoPro footage in it, so I'm going to have to splice those together. So this will be a learning experience for me on doing this, because that'll be the first time that I'm doing that. But I can say, you know, if you watch me and you put up with my talking and everything else, and like I say, I'm trying to improve. I think I need to I'll get more scripted as it goes along. I think right now I'm kind of shooting off the hip because I'm trying to figure out everything, and there's a lot rolling on in my mind, and plus, you know, some of the other projects and just trying to figure out information on stuff because for my own self. But anyway, I think this is a bandsaw that I did to resaw lumber. I think, yeah, it's kind of an interesting project because, like I say, I mean, it was way out of my budget to get a saw that could do what this saw does now, with the power and everything else. So I had to do it myself. So I think I bought the bandsaw off of Facebook Marketplace for $450. And I think the motor I paid, it was on sale at Harbor Freight. I think I paid $160 for it. And then the pulley from McMaster car was the most expensive pulley. That was right at $200 with the wedge. And I can't think of the proper name for it right now, but it's kind of like a wedge fit on there. And then the 2-inch pulley, I think that was at $15 from Amazon. So, and then the belts, I think the belts were $15 a piece, of say $30 in belts from Tractor Supply. So I could get them quick. Anyway, guys, so that's that. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for letting me bumble along putting this footage together. But that's the bandsaw. I'll have some other footage where I am cutting the piece of wood. I know I've said this several times, repeat myself, but okay, I'm on the repeater. But one of the things that it just, hopefully it's interesting to you. And again, if you have any questions, please, please, please contact me through the comments or whatever, and I will try to explain best as possible that I can. And if you really have a question on something else that I did, please let me know, and I'll try to do a clip or a short or something that kind of delves in deeper on whatever particular thing that you'd like more information on. Thanks, guys, and thanks so much for watching, and people that have subscribed and everything else. It's great. This has been so far a great experience for me. I'm really enjoying it, so hopefully it'll go on into the future. And like I say, we've got lots and lots of projects around. We'll probably do a lot of stuff with fuels, chemistry, and everything, mechanics, electrical. So we got a lot of things coming up. So anyway, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye. So here's the table that I built. Put a Harbor Freight motor in it. Change the ratio of the pulley so it spins slower. I'm using a portable bandsaw blade. And as you can see, I've set up my jig here and along with my table. And this is, I've already cut hundreds of feet with this. So this is the last piece I have to cut. And I figure I'd just make a video of it. So enjoy. adjust the camera so you can see it. So there, I think that's good. Now we'll cut it. So that's it. One 2x8, 16 foot long, cut in half the long way. Hey guys, so that was the second clip that I told you that it's kind of rough, and that was the first one I did, and I've been sitting on that for quite a while. So anyway, it was, hopefully I cut out the parts that were kind of didn't need to be there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. If you have any questions, please ask me. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I gotta go make some ethanol now. See you guys.